Hey everyone, we're still here. Super glad you're with us. Teresa and I want you to know that we miss you. Look forward to hanging out with you. You know, there's a guy in Scripture called, his name was Daniel. And Daniel lived his whole life in turbulent times. He was taken captive by the Babylonians and spent 60 years under their captivity. Then the Syrians came and he spent the rest of his life in captivity to them. He lived his whole life in turbulent times. How was he able to do this? Well, let's first give you the definition of the word turbulent. Turbulent means, or the word turbulent times means to be characterized by conflict, disarray, or uncertainty. And it is the opposite of stable and calm. And there's only one way that Daniel learned to get through his turbulent times, and it is the same character trait we need to embrace to get through our character times, and that is resiliency. When to be resilient, we need to embrace the suck of life. And times like this have some real sucky characteristics, and we need to embrace that. And the reason we embrace it is because once we embrace it, now we have the capability to deal with it well. We can be resilient. So how do you be resilient? Resilient is a trait that gives us the ability to bounce back. So even though we're not working, many of us, and we're at home and we're dealing with long lines everywhere we go, and we're dealing with this social isolation, social distancing, embrace this because you know who you are. You know who you belong to. And as Paul says in Philippians 1:27, whatever happens, conduct yourselves in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ. This situation is turbulent. Deal with it. But don't just deal with it. Open your arms and welcome it as you would an old friend. Why? As I shared earlier, what you can embrace, you can deal with. When you embrace the suck, you begin to now have the ability to overcome it. Jesus said this about resiliency. In John 16:33, he said, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I've overcome the world. He said, listen, you got to be resilient. You're going to have problems. I'm going to give you peace and the ability to bounce back. In 1 John 5:4, we're told this, for everyone born of God overcomes the world. This is the victory that overcame the world, even our faith. Faith in what? Well, John 5:5 or 1 John 5:5 tells us this. Who is it that overcomes the world? Only the one who believes that Jesus is the Son of God. So we have the ability to bounce back. So we must practice what we believe in. Real faith knows no time when it is not exercised. And exercising faith in all times of life takes great resilience. And that is the perspective we must have when we view life. The point here is only the person who has Jesus as the most influential person in their life is going to overcome the world. Turbulence is often God's way of blowing on the sails of our lives to position us to be testimonies of Him to a world that does not know its right hand from its left, running around by every wind of new storm, tossed to and fro by every aspect of turbulence. Listen, we need to embrace that this is a season where we can demonstrate our character. The character of resiliency, the character of faith, and the character of generosity. There are many people who you will be running into that don't know their right hand from their left, tossed to and fro. So here's what we can do. We can be resilient. We can make the best of these times. We can call and check up with people, play games at our house, get to know one another better, pray with and for others, and enjoy the day God has given us. That's all I got for you today. Have a wonderful evening. Peace out.